Giroud all start. These two in Group I with Finland, Belarus and Spain. Finland and Spain kicking off shortly. As things stand, Spain have 11 points from their 5 played and the French have 10 from their 5 played. Finland have 6, Georgia have 4, and there is the home boss, Timuri Ketsbaia. And there is UEFA's Champions League Player of the Year, Franck Ribéry, part of an attacking looking lineup for the French tonight. Plenty of quality on the bench too, even with a couple having pulled out of the squad. Only 13 European nations will be at Brazil next summer. 9 group winners through automatically. The best 8 group runners-up play off for 4 places, so 1 second-place nation won't even make it to the playoffs. France are desperate to make sure it is not them that misses out. So here we go. Georgia, FIFA ranked 98, hosting France. Now officially, would you believe, the 23rd best nation. It's a bit of a drop for Georgia, that, since the last standings. It's a continuing trend, unfortunately, from a French point of view, that they could be down as low as that. Not all that long ago, they were winning everything in sight. Restricted viewing for some fans, unfortunately, who've got a little bit too excited early on here. No one in that stand's going to be seeing the early parts of this game. A little something extra to take on board for the Turkish officials. Mikhail Mesky Stadium, also known as Lokomotiv Stadium, because Lokomotiv Tbilisi play here. It's Georgia's second biggest arena. It'll be hosting the Super Cup in 2015 after UEFA decided to move from Monaco and turn that particular showpiece into a road show, but that's for the future. The here and now is Georgia versus France in World Cup qualification Group I. The expectation is an away win, but you never know what you're going to get with France. Here's Laurent Koscielny of Arsenal, and then little Mathieu Valbuena. He's been a favourite of Didier Deschamps at club level with Marseille and now the national side too. Koscielny's ball. Here is Jano Ananidze. Always a bit of a buzz when he gets it. Just pushed it a bit too far in front of him, and Koscielny was very cool in defending. Valbuena finds no place past Grigalava. Giroud in the middle, Benzema on the ball. Good ball from Valbuena. This is Bakary Sagna up from right back. Musa Sissoko of Newcastle United. Plenty of competition for places in central midfield without there being real standout candidates for the French. They have a whole bunch of them. Okliashvili back doing the defending. Koscielny and Sagna next to each other tonight, as they are at club level for Arsenal, of course. It's Sissoko again. Buena's ball way over hit. Still gets the thumbs up for the intent from Franck Ribéry. Eric Abidal will be 34 next week. Back involved in the international fold after some long-term and very well documented health issues. Throw from Lobjanidze was a bit of a waste of time. It'll give Hugo Lloris, French captain, the first touch of the night. Long-range shot with a deflection on it. Comes in from Sissoko, comfortably gathered by Georgie Lauria. Hometown certainly for him, Tbilisi, but not home club. Quite the opposite. He's a Dynamo Tbilisi player as opposed to the Lokomotiv variety that play here. Okriashvili holding off his man, but giving it straight to Koscielny. Olivier Giroud has started the season very well for Arsenal. A lot of talk about whether they would sign a striker during the transfer window that's just passed. They didn't. He will remain the main man up front for them. But what he will have is a little bit extra supply, given the arrival of Mesut Ozil for a club record fee. Can only be good for a centre-forward to have that kind of quality behind you. And Aurora here as Novakidze, just for a moment, looked like he'd broken in between the lines. Just slipped, and then that allowed Evra in. But Evra also fouled the home skipper, Jarmo Kankava. Novakidze takes. Looks like that's going behind for a corner. It is. Bakary Sagna can't get there in time. Decent start this from the home side, who did actually start this qualification campaign with, well, very nearly a wonderful result. They got 86 minutes of a clean sheet against Spain before finally folding on opening night and lost 1-0. It's a reminder that they've got something about them. Jano Ananidze takes the corner. Plays in Russia for Rostov. That's his cross, first time. That's all he could do really, but he sliced it. Here goes Ribery, good cross, Valbuena couldn't quite pull it down. First burst from Frank Ribery out wide, and it looked pretty good, didn't it? A couple of goals in qualifying, Frank Ribery, including one against Georgia last time back in France. Here comes the corner. Ribery kept it in. Past Ananidze, and past Lobjanidze as well. Coming in on the shot is Skilavogi. New name in the French setup, just a fourth cap for him. Atletico Madrid midfielder. Here goes Kovakidze. And then completely wasted by Galashvili. Made nothing of it. Wasn't really under a great deal of pressure. Valbuena to Evra. A lot of left back options. Eric Abidal could play there. Gael Clichy's on the bench. It's Evra who is the incumbent now. 50th cap for him tonight, Patrice Evra of Manchester United. Here's Gilavogi again. Sagna making the run, and he's been picked out well. Easy handling for Lauria. Look at the shot that was charged down, well charged down too by the skipper Kankava. Georgia coming into this off the back of a 1-0 friendly defeat to Kazakhstan. Hardly a deal of preparation. French drew their August friendly with Belgium. Lost a lot of friendlies actually during this campaign though to all sorts of opponents: Uruguay, Japan, Germany, Brazil. In this group, they've done all right, not least thanks to a very important, potentially crucial draw away to Spain. 94th minute equaliser that night from Olivier Giroud. They've beaten the Finns, beat Belarus. They won 3-1 against Georgia earlier this year and lost the reverse fixture to Spain 1-0. They're only a point behind Spain though, who've been less than their usual perfect selves. Started well here tonight, France, though. After a couple of good minutes for the Georgians early on. France just starting to assert themselves, Ribery unfairly so on that occasion. There's the tensions on Yabo Kankava. A little too fierce. Ananidze did well to keep it in. Here's Grigalova. Now Alex Samisulashvili plays it. Krasnodar. It's a fine challenge that from Musa Sissoko. Benzema has Ribery to his left. Ribery has eyes for goal though, and fires it! Very nearly in as well. A few fans who thought it was. Lauria couldn't be sure. The side netting it is. A week ago in Prague, Frank Ribery scored a goal very similar to that for Bayern Munich in the Super Cup victory over Chelsea. A little bit further out. Went for the near post that time too. Difference is this one was the wrong side of the post from his point of view. 12 international goals, this his 75th cap. Looking busy already. Okriashvili did enough to win the free kick. has shown his infringement. Georgia getting on with it. Kankava, lovely ball, all the flags gone up, but I tell you what, it must have been tight. Niko Galashvili wanted that reverse ball and he got it. How close was it? A yard or two off. Those French defenders just for a second looked worried. They thought they'd got their timing off, but they haven't. Abidal out to Evra. Frustration on the touchline for Temuri Ketsbaia. Another pass goes astray. Done a pretty decent job. Started very well. Coming up 4 years in charge now, though. Gonna have to deal with Ribery somehow tonight. Easier said than done. And maybe impossible. Well, that cross was, again, too close to Lauria. He was brilliant, Lauria, against Belarus in their opening game. Kept a clean sheet and a win to start this campaign for Georgia. And that late loss to the Spanish, done so well to dig in and keep them out for 86 minutes till Soldado scored. Cross here, way too deep for Jano Ananidze. Georgia then drew 1-1 away to Finland, lost 2-0 at Belarus. That was the big one that Temuri Ketsbaia was so disappointed with. France away in March ended in a 3-1 defeat. After this, they're at home to the Finns and they finish away to Spain, so realistically, for Georgia, third place would be a prize of sorts. As things stand, a couple of points behind Finland in that regard. Sanya to Valbuena. Ribery back to Sanya. Ribery swat flanks, he's just come over to this near side. Valbuena's gone infield. Bakidze thought he got a bit of the ball then. To say, I think he might have done. Crossing's been a problem for both sides so far tonight. That's another wayward one, this time from Patrice Evra, who's still in pole position to be Manchester United's left back. A lot of talk about latent veins of Everton, Fabio Contrao of Real Madrid, but neither of them ended up coming in that window, so Evra, you'd imagine, will keep his place for the season more or less there. Bakidze again. Not a good ball. It was behind Kasia. It was dealt with tidily enough. And no flag here. Ananidze thought he was in for a moment. It looked like he might have been till Sanya got there. Ananidze was the target of that cross as well. What a volley. That is coming in out of absolutely nowhere from Jaga Kankava. That is some strike. It must have looked good when he hit it, and from probably 3/4 of this stadium's point of view. That's a 1 in a million volley. It's pretty impressive technique even to get that close. It's the sort of strike everybody dreams of, flying into the top corner. Flew into the hoardings instead. Kankava now down, but not injured. Bumped off by Giroud and the ball hit him in the face. No goals in Helsinki between the Finns and the Spanish yet. Sanya to Balbuena. Sanya again. Neat touch that from Giroud. Evra. Plenty of blue shirts up here, but Evra can't find any of them. We'll have to settle for the throw. Gilavogi just opened up for a moment. His long legs got him there. Sanya. Balbuena, whose legs must be about the shortest on this pitch. Still got a good crossing though. It's just over Olivier Giroud. Evra. Benzema. Ribery stopped to call for a handball rather than playing to the whistle. Now he's getting back and defending, because Alex Kobakidze's off again. Evra's back though. Moussa Sissoko, 10th cap for the Newcastle midfielder tonight. Poor ball from Balbuena. This is why Ribery was shouting for handball. He's certainly got a case, hasn't he? It's a long way away from the body, even if it was close range. Meanwhile, up the other end, Gelashvili's been fouled. The attentions of Koscielny are a little too close. Gave himself a red card on opening day, Laurent Koscielny, of the English Premier League season. Aside from that and the ban, he started the season well, getting the rave reviews that started coming for him after a tough start, but it started coming for him last season. So regular back there now. Didier Deschamps, clearly a fan. Evra gets it back from Ribery. It is dispossessed by the very solid Kankava. Good luck knocking him off the ball. Up the line it goes from Muchalov-Janidze, the Dnipro defender. And once again Gelashvili has infringed. France getting on with it. Okriashvili fouled. This is Akaki Kabuchia, another who plays in Russia. As you'd expect, there's a fair few Georgians that do, but just about half the squad play their club football here in Georgia. is Bakary Sagna. Past the halfway mark of the first half. An untimely slip there for Okliashvili. Allows Valbuena to spread the play. Ilavogi finds Sagna. Valbuena says it should be a corner. And the assistant agrees. '25th cap tonight for Mathieu Valbuena. In comes his corner, it's a super delivery. And it's a wonderful chance for Joshua Ilavogi. He climbed well, got above Lobjanidze, and well, having done that, possibly could have done better, but it was quite a melee in there. Any kind of more solid touch than that, you fancy it probably would be 1-0. Just a glancing blow in the end. Valbuena's flick has almost caused Sagna a problem. He was just about quick enough to get it. Sissoko. Here goes Ribery again. All of a sudden there are 3 white shirts around him, and one of them, Yaba Kankava, has pinched it. Very nearly set Gilashvili off there. Eric Abidal just got the leg out there and got a toe to the ball. It was a bold decision. If he'd missed it, Gilashvili was away. It's his foul now, though. Get away from him that time. He just got his heels clipped instead. Delayed reaction to go down, but it was certainly a foul. Georgia's free kick, 25 played. Done okay so far. The locals are getting noisy again. Alex Kobakidze, the Dnipro forward, over the free kick. He who scored against France in March. A little bit too far out for a shot this time, but it's not a bad delivery. Headed out. Okliashvili on the turn, has the shot, and the second shot, huge deflection on it. And that was heading in. Lloris had to divert himself. He was going one way, then he had to go the other. Good handling from the French skipper. Good ball. Finds Olivier Giroud. Knocked it past Akaki Kabuchia and was upended by him. He might be going in the book too here. He always looked worse at pace. Stuck out the leg. The ball had already gone. I think he knows what's coming next. No question, Giroud knew it was coming and played for it. That doesn't make it any less of a foul. Valbuena, lovely position, ball to aim at right in the mix, and another couple of others just hanging back waiting for the loose ball. He's going to have to wait to take it, our Turkish referee. Making himself very clear indeed, whatever language. Here it comes then, the Valbuena free kick. Wasn't really worth the wait, was it? Easily headed out by Kankava. Sanya smashes it back, and then Benzema goes for goal. Gave it the big wind-up, got plenty behind it, but hit it straight at Giorgio Loria. Ribery. Trying to up the ante, goes for goal himself. Another good block coming in this time by Gio Grigalova. Another Valbuena corner. That's missed everybody. Lobjanidze gets a clearance in of sorts, but only as far as Patrice Evra. Super challenge coming in. Mokriashvili. Evra just wants to get on with it. Try and make something from this head of steam that the French are building up here. Wonderful footwork from Mokriashvili though, and Alex Kobzakidze is off and running again. He's looked as bright as anyone so far. Georgia haven't really been able to get Ananidze in the game, but he's on the ball now. Neatly done. And then Mokriashvili looked like he was upended. No, says our Turkish official, who was, to be fair to him, right on top of it. Good decision. Tornike Mokriashvili was very much looking for that one, having essentially lost the ball. Giroud has won that header well. Kankava. And Kashia. Nice one too. The crowd like that. Galashvili on the chase, but Abidal, 34 next week or not, has still got the pace. And the experience to know where to be positioned even when you don't have the pace. That's half the battle. Decent game this. Get even if we have a goal, but shortage of it out there. Georgia going for it, perhaps a little more than one might have expected pre-match. The previous World Cup qualification campaign was pretty disastrous. So we have another look at that Benzema shot. Real Madrid centre forward, you might expect him to get that a bit nearer a corner than that. It's Georgia's last World Cup qualification campaign. 3 draws, 3 points from 30. Hector Cooper, no less, had to go after that. Actually had a few famous names in charge of the Georgian national team. Alain Giresse, a French legend. Klaus Topmoller as well. One of their own into Mariquet's by now. That looked like a foul, and indeed it has been given. A nudge on Bakary Sagna. Another French free kick in a dangerous position. Grigalova just couldn't help himself, sticking a leg out a couple of times. Just that bit too keen to win the ball when it wasn't really there to be won. He's up again, so to Koscielny. Olivier Giroud just lurking. He's picked up now by Gabucha. And it comes again from Valbuena. Sooner or later you feel one of those is going to find a French head, but that one didn't. Clear by Ucha Lobjanidze. The furthest man forward, Galashvili, having a bit of a lone chase, as he has had for most of the evening. Not been too bad in getting up in support of him, but he'll need a bit more than that if Georgia are to pinch something here. Look at the space Valbuena's picked up here. Lovely little position in between the lines, but he rather fluffed his lines with the shot, got right underneath it. Looks down, would like to blame the pitch. I don't think we're going to give him that excuse. It's just way off target from Mathieu Valbuena. Not a bad international scoring record. He scored 5 times in his 24 prior to tonight. Of course, the last French World Cup campaign was disastrous in its own way, wasn't it? The infighting of 2010 under Raymond Domenech. The French didn't even get out of the group, which is part of the reason why they're ranked as low as they are nowadays. They were actually 27th in September of that year. They're 23rd now. But that is why also they're in pot 2 for qualification here. You might wonder why Spain and France are in the same group. It's because the French are not the force they once were, and likes of Croatia and Greece and Norway were pot 1 sides in this original qualification draw, and you think France not even in that company, technically speaking. Ribéry is certainly welcome in any company. It's his foul there. Long ball taken on the chest by Galashvili, but Moussa Sissoko was just waiting there to take it off his toes, and he's still carrying it well here. Guilavogui has Valbuena in support. Right in front of a concerned looking Tamuri Ketsbaia. Ananidze chasing Valbuena back, and then the no-nonsense challenge coming in from Gia Grigalova. Very much Georgia's first choice left back, in fact, or back 4. It is nowadays. Zurab Kizanishvili, the veteran legend, is still part of the squad, but he's more a substitute these days, and he is indeed on the bench tonight. Valbuena forward. Giroud couldn't make it stick, a little bit sloppy. And not for the first time. It's a neat bit of footwork that from Okliashvili. Until he passed it out of play, complaining that he didn't have any help. Sanya. Ribéry's come to the right again. He's found that his opposite number 7, Kankava, stuck with him well. Didier Deschamps trying something to pull this very well organised Georgian defence around. A popular and obvious choice to replace Laurent Blanc, Didier Deschamps. Won everything as a player, and has won plenty as a boss as well. Here's Evra. The header is more up than out. And it's out now. Okliashvili. The big clearance. Sissoko looked like he was taken out there. And Okliashvili is going to go in the book. They always look worse at pace. Sissoko was diving into it, has to be said. Well, he's not had too much to do so far, Giorgi Loria. 37.5 minutes in. I should think that man there, Didier Deschamps, is the more concerned. Especially now that Spain are winning away to Finland. Spain, remember, coming into the night a point ahead of France. So as things stand, maybe 3 points ahead of France. Valbuena again on set-piece duty. Gloria got there with a pair of fists and got plenty of contact on it. Benzema. Seen very little of him so far. Ribery. Again, just can't shake off Yabakankova. And they're loving his performance, the locals here. Georgia's captain getting stuck in. And largely getting stuck into Frank Ribery. Do well to keep up that sort of intensity for 90 minutes, but so far, job well done. And another lovely drop of the shoulder from Okriashvili. Kobakidze slipped and the ball was behind him. He's done his best to win it back, but he failed, and Sissoko now comes ranging forward. Slows things down a little, not for the first time tonight, Karim Benzema. Here he is again, and again. Showed too much of that to Kasia. Just under 6 minutes to the break. No goals in Tbilisi. And the mistake has allowed Grigala in here. It's those sort of opportunities that Georgia will have to take advantage of. A French lapse, allowing him in down the left. Had a man to pick out in the middle, it was nowhere near him. All it takes is one good cross, and the shot would be on. 40 played. Valbuena has drifted past Ananidze. Now Sanya with a cross. Valbuena again. Seen so much of the ball, Mathieu Valbuena. Like another free kick, he's not going to get it. Kankava is everywhere tonight. It's not just sticking to Ribery. It did, in fairness to Valbuena. Look at if he got clipped then. Right in front of the assistant as well. Not given. Just when France get caught like that, thinking, here we go, upfield in numbers, just have moments, fleeting moments like that one then, where one good pass from the Georgians could make all the difference. It's a decent French bench in the middle there. André-Pierre Gignac, the forward. Ever down the line. Ribery trying to turn it into a better ball than it was by closing down. Here comes Lobjanidze. Flags up. Sloppy from Niko Galashvili. The Karabag forward. It's the third time that's happened. Giroud fouled, Benzema fouling. This first half is rather petering out. stayed in? I think it has, you know. Just the spin of the ball allowed Grigalova the chance. Just again, an overly heavy pass. Just when there was a sniff that something might happen, and Timuri Ketsbayev is growing frustrated with it. He played in the very first organised match for a Georgian 11 22 years ago. Former Soviet state, of course. Georgia, they got their official footballing independence in 1992. The first attempt at qualifying for a tournament was for Euro 96, and they did rather well with Timuri Ketsbayev in the side. They won 5 times in that qualification campaign. If you're racking your brains to ever think if they have made a tournament, the answer is they haven't. In the front foot here, though, with Ananidze. 3 white shirts with him. Kovakidze. It's just another one of those moments, and it keeps happening. They're just a whisker away from being very promising. In a minute, someone's going to get that key pass right, and the French might be in trouble. 30 seconds left of the first half in Tbilisi. No one's in trouble yet, but with Spain winning in Finland, it is certainly a concern for France. On the presumption the Spanish do win that, if Georgia, it's a big if, but if Georgia could find a win here, they'd go 3rd in the group. There'd only be 3 points off France with the same games played. Well, right on 45, no time for anything additional. We didn't have an injury, so I suppose that's fair enough. We didn't have any goals either. Ribery's had his odd moment, but not a lot to do for either keeper. In Tbilisi at the break, it's Georgia 0, France 0. Separating France and Georgia at the moment. The hosts have been very organised at the back, but for a couple of final balls might have created a problem or two for Hugo Lloris. As it is, he's only had to make 1 save of any real. The French skipper. On the other end, Georgi Loria, he got himself behind a forceful strike from Benzema. Ribery's looked lively, but really this is a game that needs a goal and hasn't shown too many signs of getting one. With Spain leading 1-0 in Finland in a game that kicked off just after this one. The French will know that they need to win this game to keep hot on the heels of the reigning champs at just about every level, the Spanish. They're 1 point behind them at kick-off tonight, so they're 3 points behind them as things stand now, but there are 45 to go. Georgia held on for 86 minutes against Spain on opening night in this group. Looked like opening night for Spain. It was Georgia's second game, but it looked like they were going to get a valuable point there away. But, conceded late on. They've held out here with far less drama, it has to be said. France have looked a little short of ideas. Generally been a case of get it to Valbuena and Ribery and hope they do something. Not seen much of either centre forward. Here's one of them, Benzema. Ribery taking over. He can make something happen at any minute. And he's got it through to Valbuena here. Sanya. Cleared by Ami Sulashvili. Plays for Krasnodar. Sulashvili's played all over Russia and the Ukraine. A lot of clubs, a lot of signing on fees. Here's Albuena. Musa Sissoko. Crossed nowhere near the target, that was Benzema. Took very little so far, Benzema, and he's let that one run away from him as well. Albuena looking for options in front of him. There weren't any. Sissoko takes over. Sanya now. Kept in check by Yano Ananidze. France have been to 13 World Cups. They won it, of course, home soil in '98. Runs up in '06 to Italy and twice third place, but they didn't get out of the group last time. Awful campaign. All sorts going on behind the scenes in South Africa 3 years ago. Gignac amongst the French subs warming up there. Wouldn't be surprised to see him. Sulashvili, the free kick, more French subs warming up. That was Samir Nasri there. Good Kovakidze go. And he's offloaded it. It's a great chance, it must be. It's off the post from Okriashvili, who had 2 bites at it. And really, you'd have to say, both of them were very good chances. You don't usually get an immediate reprieve. He did, and he blew it. Georgia should be in front by some distance, the clearest chance in this game. Great work from Alex Kovakidze down the right. Little improvised cross because he didn't have time for the back left. We'll get another look at that in a moment. Georgia buoyed by that, coming again now. There's Okriashvili. What a chance for him twice over. Kankava, the captain, was excellent in the first half. Now Kasia, little scoop over the top for Kovakidze, and he's fluffed his lines too. Flags up anyway. He'll be relieved given the air shot he managed to produce. And offside he was, albeit only just. Real scare for France there. Loris got in the way of the first. Here's another look at it then. Kovakidze round the side. There's first effort, only spilled out by Hugo Loris. This second chance though was a wonderful one, off the upright and out. A huge sigh of relief for the French, who haven't had to do too much defending tonight. They should be behind, no question about it. Okriashvili knows it. Should have been his second international goal. Georgia have a free kick. Didier Deschamps looks that little bit more concerned than he looked in the first half. He'll have Gilashvili has won that one fairly softly. And France just a little bit rattled early in the second half here. Still no goals into Tbilisi. You can hear the home fans now for sure. Big time. Kobakidze over the free kick. Oh, it's weak. Didn't even make it into the box. Terrible delivery. Real waste. What a chance for Tourniquet or Kriashvili. It's one of those you feel like you might be thinking back to it at the end of the night when France have managed to get the win that people presume they will get. It's one of those, isn't it? You think, if he'd taken that, who knows? But he didn't. Fine margins. Nice touch that from Ribéry. Evra wants it back, gets it back. Gilashvili didn't know much about it, but his mere presence was enough to halt the charge of Patrice Evra. '50th cap tonight for Patrice Evra. Adventurous run. Long throw from Mundial, and a good one too to Kriashvili. The back heel less impressive. Gilashvili says, why didn't you give it to me simply to my feet? He's got a point. Laurent Koscielny to Mathieu Valbuena, out to Bakary Sagna. Sissoko, Valbuena again, promising. That's a better ball in towards Giroud. Guilavogui, given away. Done that much tonight, the new Atletico Madrid man. 10 million euros took him there a few days ago, right at the end of the window from Saint Etienne. He'd been since he was an early teenager, 14 he joined Saint Etienne, on association with them, but playing in Spain now. Sang upended and dispossessed, and Anidze's given back to Sissoko. He's done really well until that pass, which was a shocker, straight to Kankava. It's a good open game, this. Gilashvili running at Evra, and he's passed in Gilashvili, and he's gone for goal as well. From that angle, that was ambitious at best. Did have support in the middle. Do well to beat any top-class keeper from there. Hugo Lloris is very much a top-class keeper. This is Valbuena. Great sliding challenge coming in from Goran Kasia. He's there again. No one there for the cross. Chalobzilidze got the call to let it run. France are away again. Not a million miles from here in Belarus on Tuesday night. Finish at home to Finland. Ribery with the ball in. Sulashvili, right place, right time. Not a complete absence of French strikers in the middle, but it wasn't far off. Here's Valbuena. Crosses charged down. Kabakidze clears. Nowadays in international football, even the lower ranked sides like Georgia, who are, remember, 98th in the world, have enough organisation about them that you can't just turn up and give the ball to Franck Ribery and hope that he'll do something. It's a bit more craft than that. The French have really not produced it yet, but here is Ribery, who can produce something out of nothing. The ball into Benzema, and a handball by Benzema. Here's another look at the standout chance of the night. Lloris, to his credit, came flying out for that rebound that really did narrow the angle. Okriashvili knew he almost had to slice one past him, which is what he tried. But for a little bit too much spin on that ball, well, off the post and out again. Grigalashvili is about to come on for Georgia, but Tamuri Ketsbaya says not just yet. It's Kankava. Okriashvili and now Gilashvili. Given away again though. Abidal, the ball forward for Benzema. And then Guilavogui finds Sagna. That's a better cross. Oh, Karim Benzema will expect to do a lot better with that kind of quality ball into him. He was unchallenged here. Still a fair distance out, but even so, you'd expect a player of his calibre to do rather better than that, at least somewhere vaguely near the target. That was miles away from Benzema. Not looked on his game at all tonight. And after an awful lot of running, Alex Kobakidze is off to be replaced by Guya Grigalashvili. Kobakidze has looked bright. One can only presume that that amount of galloping he's been doing has taken its toll on the legs, because he's pretty dangerous as anyone actually from Georgia's point of view. On a night of disappointing crosses, there's another. Ribery beat his man comfortably enough. The ball in wasn't good. Perhaps Benzema's night is done. There is André-Pierre Gignac. Benzema's time maybe nigh. The changes coming now. Benzema looks across and sees his number is up, and I don't think that's a surprise at all. André-Pierre Gignac of Marseille comes on, brought on by the manager who signed him. From Toulouse, Didier Deschamps was Marseille boss when Gignac was bought 3 years ago. He's on here for his 17th cap, and hoping to find his 5th goal. Didier Deschamps won't care who it comes from, as long as it does come. We've played over an hour, third of the game left. And France not really looking like troubling Lauria at all. Plenty of time left, of course, but even so, they've been under par tonight for sure. Spain still leading by the narrowest of margins, 1-0 in Finland. 3 points ahead of the French as things stand right now in Group I. Solid but fair challenge. Our Turkish referee says Giroud was not fouled and that the ball was won. Play goes on. Galashvili gets his head on it, but no one's looking for the second ball in a white shirt. Anyway, Giroud is fine. Nothing wrong with that challenge from Kankava, who's put them in all night. He's been absolutely superb, the Georgian skipper. Can't knock him off the ball, and he wins his fair share. 50-50s and 40-60s. Really pushed back by Lobjanidze. Nowhere to go but backwards. Well worth their point, you'd say, Georgia, but doesn't mean they're going to get it. France have always got the extra quality, and they make it count. Sagna's cross in towards Giroud. The near post run that he likes to make, just darting across his man. Well, he tried to dart across his man, but Lukaku Kabuchia stayed with him and got the touch in. It's a super bit of defending that. Balbuena over the corner. Should be Llorias. Good distance on the punch again. Ananidze might need a bit of help, or at least do it himself. He is going to do it himself. And listen to the roar as he comes forward. He has to put the brakes on because he knew he wasn't going to beat Sagna in a flat race like that. He wanted to go forward, didn't he? You could see the frustration that he had nowhere to go with the pass. He's got it back at his feet now. And here is Grigalashvili, the substitute, into the box and winning the corner. But this is a very even game now. Ananidze off and running. Now he's going over at a more leisurely pace to take this Georgia corner. And the noise levels increase here in Tbilisi. 25 to go. They're in this, well in it. Ananidze's ball in, headed out by Giroud. Come back into the mix by Lobjanidze. It's a waste of time with Ananidze so far offside, having taken the corner. Lovely flick from Okriashvili. Grigalashvili was all on his own. And Sissoko won the ball. Credit to the Turkish referee there, Fida Aydınus. He was right up with play, which, given the pace of the breakaway, was quite an achievement on his part. Ball up towards Giroud. He's frustrated. Didier Deschamps frustrated. France in general have been very frustrated by a superbly organised Georgian back line, but they haven't just entirely sat in. They tried that against Spain, as I mentioned earlier, and nearly did it. But that night really was an 86-minute rearguard action. Tonight they've had a little bit of a threat on the counter themselves. Happy to send a couple more bodies forward when needed. Here's Evra. And Evra again. Great chance to pick out a teammate in the middle. That could go anywhere. It's been cleared. Just fell for a moment there for Gignac. Back in by Sagna. Loria comes with the fists again. And it's not much of a shot from Joshua Ilavogi at the end of it. It's a rare promising moment in attack for the French there. Evra's cross just in between Valbuena and Gignac, two Marseille players. Still nearly worked out for them via Grigalova's touch. That's Tagamadze we're about to see. David Tagamadze. Goal-scoring midfielder. Neatly done that by Ribéry. There's another look at the nearly moment for the French. Hasn't been enough of that for Didier Deschamps to applaud. Yano Ananidze. The playmaker is off. David Tagamadze on in his place. Approaching the final 20. Bakary Sagna with the cross. Yaba Kankava. First with the header out, then the flying block. At this moment, he nailed on for man of the match. Yaba Kankava, the midfield skipper of the Georgians. But it might not be him who has the deciding touch. Could be Gignac. It nearly fell from there. And look who's there again. Honestly, I'm beginning to think two of him out there. Kankava somehow pitched up in between right back and centre half when he'd just been left midfield a few moments ago. Ribéry's cross. There is definitely only one number 7 out there for Georgia. There's Sagna. Evra, good chance, not taken. All Giroud could do was just try and stick out a leg and divert it goalwards. No blame attached there. You'd have to say Patrice Evra, even though goal scoring is not really his bag, probably should have got this shot better off. That is nowhere near. Giroud's actually done very well to even turn it that close to goal. And back in his own goal, Hugo Lloris with the face of a man who knows that his side aren't doing enough here. Into the final 20 minutes. Anybody's game. Valbuena. Sissoko tries to fire one in at Gignac. Valbuena will get another go. Here's Grigalashvili. Skips away from both of the long-legged French holding midfielders, which is no mean feat. Guilavogui and Sissoko, a couple of physical specimens in there, but the neat way that Grigalishvili got away from them. Timur Ketspire is getting more and more animated as this game goes on. That was him screaming a moment ago, you might have heard. .49 caps himself for Georgia. Second top scorer, actually, interestingly enough. Obviously their international history is barely a generation old, but even so, not bad for a midfielder. Shota Arveladze is top. Here's Guilavogui. Now Valbuena. Up towards Ribery. Looked like his touch, and indeed it was. Georgia's goal kick. It's just not happening for France, is it? You're seeing here why they're down at 23 in the world and why they were in pot 2 of the seeds in the qualification draw. That golden generation was special, all right. They really have struggled to replace them. Struggled here tonight, Tbilisi, and had the man on the floor there. Tornike Ogriashvili finished the clearest sighting of goal that either side has had in this game. Georgia might even be winning. Promising position, and with Kovakidze off and Ananidze off, the substitute David Targamadze is assuming duties on the set plays. That's a good delivery. Deflection could have gone anywhere. Targamadze is going to close it down. Kasia sliding in. It's been such a wholehearted performance this from the Georgians. You'd feel very sorry for them if they befell what happened to them out in Spain early on in this campaign. It's always a possibility. Players like Ribery on show. Here he is. The sense France just want to get him the ball and hope that he does something. That might be enough, it might not. More good work from Ogriashvili. That must be the third time this game he's put it through Guilavogi's legs. He'll probably get taken out soon enough. So much the man could take. Here's Targamadze. He's quicker than Sanya. Good ball as well for Ogriashvili. Challenge got the ball. Once again, Turkish referee, Mr. Aydınus, was right up with play. Full marks for fitness. These Georgian fans believe, you can hear it. Every time they get going anywhere near the French half, but they're on the back foot now. Ribery into Giroud. This is promising, but it's scuffed wide. Giroud has 2 goals in qualifying, one against Georgia when they last met. Look at his frustration there. The other was a huge one potentially in the group, the 94th minute equaliser away to Spain. Samir Nasri is about to come on for the French here. Second change on the way from Didier Deschamps. He doesn't look overly frantic, does he, Didier Deschamps? Hands in pockets, pretty calm, but he won't be enjoying the scoreline, that's for sure. And we have an intervention on the pitch here into Tbilisi that the stewards will be dealing with if they can catch him. Seen enough of France's main man. Nasri still waits to come on. Play is underway again. Thank goodness for that. 13 minutes of the 90 left. So probably 16 or so for Georgia to hold out for what would be a very well received draw. Or indeed, pinch a win, you'd have to say. Really big against the run of play, would it? Here's Galashvili taking on Sanya. Targamadze now with 2 for company. Michelny and Sissoko have made it work. In Finland, Jordi Alba's goal is keeping Spain 1 ahead of the Finns. Ilavogi's night is done. Didier Deschamps can no longer afford to have 2 deep-lying midfielders in there. So Sissoko will do the mopping up in front of the defence now, and Samir Nasri is sent on to add a little bit of something to the attack, which has been rather off tonight, it has to be said. Georgia making their own change, their third, with Galashvili coming off, the furthest forward man, the centre forward, to be replaced by Vlad Valishvili, the Legia Warsaw player in Poland. Valbuena, neatly done, exchanging the ball with Frank Ribery. Valbuena's got it back. Evra's up again. Expect to see him in the advanced positions in the latter stages as France go for the win. There are times of that. There was. Evra's been caught as he crossed it. France will have a corner, but their left back is down here. Just here. Fairly innocuous. Ribery. Nasri on the edge of the box, maybe caught a bit cold, he barely got a bootlace on that one. Sliced across for a throw at the other end, and we're into the final 10 minutes into Tbilisi. Targamadze. Georgia's throw. Lauria's long clearance, just a bit too long, although Davashvili was on it just in case. Substitute has just come on. Oh, Koscielny going down at touch of a feather there. Whatever happened to big strong centre halves? Here's Ribery. Gignac will try and turn it into something. Well, he's got that, but it's only to the benefit of Gignac. Valbuena. Gignac has stayed wide. That'll do, as far as the French are concerned. They don't look overly pumped up though, do they? They don't look like a nation desperate to grab this, say, winner. Might well be a winner coming this late in the game. Valbuena's corner. It's over Gignac. Giroud got a piece of it. Regalova's header wasn't a good one, it went backwards. And then Koscielny went over. And again the moment has passed, but they just haven't created much, have they, to trouble Giorgi Lauria. Couple of half-decent saves in the first half, and that's about it. I'm sure he would have expected a much busier night than this. Sissoko's header twice over, and beaten to the third. Okriashvili with the back heel. He clearly likes those. He must have tried it 4 or 5 times tonight. 7 minutes to play. Anyone's game here. Georgia may just get caught upfield here. Sissoko, he'd managed to get the ball off. But Giroud couldn't keep hold of it. And now Misulashvili goes back to Lauria. Valbuena. Ribery. Ribery again. It's opened up for him here. Beaten out by Lauria. He got everything behind that, Frank Ribery. But it was straight at the Georgian keeper. The first clear sight of goal for him in this second half. Just finally got away from his man, which he hasn't been able to do all night long. 6 minutes to go. France doing their best to up the ante. Here's Valbuena now, curls one towards the far post, and it's a catch for the cameras this time from Georgia's number 1. But he deserves that. This is the time that Spain broke Georgian hearts at the start of qualifying. Got themselves an 86th minute goal to win 1-0. Georgia play like this at home to the Finns next month and away to Belarus. They've got every chance of finishing third in this group, you'd have to say. Ribery's cross. Gignac. First touch got away from him. Second opened up the possibility again. But he didn't have time for a third. Valbuena. And the Turkish referee wanted to play an advantage there, but in the end, I think the second or third attempt to trick Valbuena has brought the free kick, and it is a free kick in a very tasty position here. Just the merest clip from the back, I think, not from Kinkava on the side, but from Girigalashvili, who was behind him. Into the final 5. Didier Deschamps needs someone to produce something out of the ordinary, which is something that France have not managed this evening at any point, but this is handily placed, and they have plenty forward. And Nasri try and pick someone out and go for goal. He's got the lasers out of his eyes. Could be a key moment. Nasri's ball in. Oh, what a chance for Laura Koscielny. Not quite a free header 7 yards out, but it almost was. And he had to do better than that. Just got a glancing head on it. Anything more meaty than that, surely it would have been 1-0. What a chance. It's gone begging. Eyes to the heavens again. It's not looking like France's night. Kankava doing a rare bit of attacking that time. He might have left his colleague short at the back. Ribéry on the chase. Lobjanidze's there too. France have another corner. Only now are they playing with any urgency. Taking them until the 84th minute to really start putting the pressure on. It's another good fist away from Lauria. Sagna to Nasri. The teammates at Arsenal. Abidal to Mathieu Valbuena. Ribéry. Philly's done well there. Here he is again. Georgia's ball. A little bit of a respite there for them as we go into the 89th minute of this game. Here's another look at the Ribéry strike a moment ago. If it had been anywhere but straight at Lauria, you fancy it would have had enough movement and pace on it to make it 1-0. A bit down, a bit up, a bit left, a bit right, any of them, but straight there, it was savable. See how much this means to Tamura Ketsbaia. If he had any hair, he'd be tearing it out. I feel like he might rip his shirt off any moment. He's of course a man who as a player, of course, once gave the advertising hoardings a good booting after he scored a goal for Newcastle United in England. Surely a foul on Ogliashvili, it is. And he's won Georgia a free kick, bang on 89 minutes here. In an area of the field from which you would think they can threaten. I'm sure they'll take the time about it. And it comes from Tagamadze. Away it goes. Just as quickly as Gignac doing the defending there, the centre forward, and it's back at the feet of Lauria, all the way back. 4 added minutes will be added on here. Not sure why, we have had some substitutions, but I think we've seen a physio in the whole game. Valbuena. Bakary Sagna. Valbuena again. Sagna again. France being patient. Time is short for them. Abidal. Nasri. The Georgians have so many bodies up the middle there, it's very tight and compact and congested, and I feel France will have to take it wide unless there's going to be a mistake in the middle, but no one's showing any signs of switching off from the Georgian perspective yet. Having to do an awful lot of defending now. It just turned on, you probably would have thought it would have been this way throughout. It absolutely has not. It's only been in the last 5 or 6 minutes that the French have upped the urgency levels, and they must be in here. They are in. Giroud is thwarted by Lauria, and you can't help feeling it's not going to be their night. Free header at the back post. There is that little bit of switching off. France getting on with it. Ribéry's cross. Sagna's header kept out again by Lauria. 1 or 2 of the French players suggesting it might have crossed the line. I don't think any of them are doing it with any conviction, though. and players being stopped here. Bakary Sagna, the least likely of all goal-scoring sources with the header. Pushed onto the post by Laurier, no question. None of the ball got over the line then, let alone all of it. That is a standout chance of the night for Giroud, for sure. Scored a couple of big qualifying goals, including one against Georgia. And probably should have had another there. Well, if Didier Deschamps' side had played with this kind of urgency any earlier on the night, they probably would have won this game. They still might, of course. We'll have at least another couple of minutes. There's no way any defence could cope with this kind of battering over a sustained hour and a half, but 5 or 10 minutes might be able to hold out, and have done so far, the Georgians. And that's cleared too. Winning that second ball. Okriashvili in the mix. They might even pitch one on the break themselves. Here's Dvashvili. Only a couple to aim at, but Targamadze's made that one his. Via Evra, the Georgians have a throw. Murray gets Bayer, is actually waving one or two of his own players back. That would suggest that he will take this as a very good point gained, which it will be. Could yet pinch it. Patrice Evra is always a player with plenty to say for himself. He didn't like that call. Can Georgia pinch it? Final seconds of additional time. Okriashvili's cross. Hugo Lloris with a big out of mind. He wants to get on with it. The French skipper releases it long and downfield. That's a slip from Amin Shulashvili. Might not be a costly one though. Targamadze here. Might as well go for goal. Okriashvili. Targamadze now. Cross comes Sissoko. There's Abidal. Will there be time for any more? Temuri Ketsbaya says, where's the whistle? Not yet, it's not. Long ball up, and there's no flag. And there's no goal on the end of it either. It might have been a nudge on Giroud. He's not complaining. The Turkish referee is not pointing to the spot. But any second now, I think he'll be blowing his whistle. There was the slightest of touches from Grigalova. You take your life into your own hands when you do that. But I think it was Laurier's ball anyway. French free kick. That ought to do it. And you can hear from the noise around the Lokomotiv Stadium here in Tbilisi what they think. To say Georgia have merely held on would be unfair. They might well have won it themselves, this Group I game. The fact that the French haven't won means that they are now more than likely destined to finish in a playoff place behind Spain. They went for it all right, France, but only in the last 10 minutes. Before that, well below par, and they could easily have been beaten. As it is, it's all square in Tbilisi. Georgia 0, France 0.